Maclunky.
Welcome to Round 4 Swiss of the SGC Columbus Star Wars Unlimited 2K, brought to you by Maclunky Gaming. Today, we have our very own Philip, aka Numberguy, versus Lightwrks. Joining us with expert commentary are Tower Number 9 and Endless. Enjoy the match.
Ooh, I love this. This is my boy, Han Solo.
All right. It looks like we have, so I'm seeing here an Anakin blue 30 HP versus a Han 1 double yellow 30 HP. Let's go.
Love it. I love it so much.
And someone in chat is wondering, was it called The Art of Sportscasting? The book that
probably. It's like a red book with like a microphone on the cover. It's in my Kindle. I can look it up. But yeah, I'm super stoked. This is a deck that I think was going to be a breakout in this new set. Now that Bobo was gone, was the Han Yellow 30. This is my boy right here. I love Han Yellow and I love Han Green.
Also, shout out to some people who subscribed during this commentary. PHL Star 91, Kells the Kid, and I think there was another one too. Yeah, Staget TBR. My apologies if I'm pronouncing any of these usernames wrong, but thank you for subscribing and supporting Maclunky Gaming. These streams would not be possible if not for their support.
I wonder what direction this Han Yellow is taking here. If he's gonna go for like the C-3PO, or if he's gonna go for some other combination of cards here. We might see a tech DJ to delay Anakin flip.
Tech DJ combo is really strong with this double yellow Han. But I hope we see some cool cards. Spags was talking a bit in chat about having to commentate a Netrunner event where literally all the decks were the same. All the people were running the same runner and the same corp and having to fill a bunch of time because the games were so boring. That's kind of the opposite of what we're seeing here with like a new set coming out, meta's unknown, lots of new stuff to explore, and I am hoping that we see some more of it here. This double yellow type of build for Han became pretty prominent in set 2. What do you think people have added for it for set 3?
So I think the biggest add was R2D2 full of solutions. I think that was the biggest. That was the biggest add. They get a lot more ability to dig.
Really strong unit.
Yeah, they get to dig. They also, some of them did add Plo Koon as well.
So if you're a double yellow Han player, are you going for that big play with now there are 2 of them, or is that not something that you're going to incorporate into your build?
I personally do not play now there are 2 of them in my Han decks. Oh yeah, Enfys Nest. That's another thing. So I love new Enfys. She's so fun.
She's very strong.
Yeah,
brings out a Millennium Falcon here and clears out Lightwrks' red 3. Looks like right now the board favors Philip. He has a his Falcon was able to take out the that red 3. There is still a restored Arc 170 on the board for Lightwrks. But if those end up trading, Philip still has the board advantage with good old L3 in the ground arena, still with her shield up.
Now you notice here he hasn't done any sort of resource pump to get ahead on curve or anything. He's just playing right on curve, L3 into Falcon.
Yeah, that's true. And that does also mean that he had to use a resource for the Falcon's upkeep. Han can kind of avoid paying that upkeep cost if he has used his his temporary resource ability in the previous turn. Now Philip's bringing out the Liberated Slaves, 3-cost 3/5 vanilla unit, but with a lot of traits on there. Was that a perilous position I saw? I think it was, but it wasn't the card Lightwrks was trying to play. He throws in a Kanan Jarrus.
So if you were afraid of Tech DJ and you know the matchup, if you see your opponent have on this resource turn, if you see him pay for Falcon, then you know you're not going to get teched. You're not going to get Tech DJ because Tech comes out on 4 resources from the smuggle row, or he comes out on 3 resources. The turn prior.
So Tech, usually with the Tech DJ combo, what they want to do is already have Tech in play going into this turn.
Exactly. And you pump a resource and then you DJ from the resource row. Hot shot on the Liberated Slaves takes out Kanan. Love it.
Yeah, Hotshot Blaster. Now that Liberated Slave should take 4 damage, which has not been marked on there yet. Hopefully they're going to catch that. And wait, don't kill me says you don't have to get tech DJ. You just have to get Han attack up to 7 resources and DJ for 7. Yeah. So that's
Yes,
one
that's
of the
also true.
advantages that the double yellow Han has in particular relative to some of the other builds like a Han green or something. Double yellow can play DJ from the resource row without having to have tech. And with the classic Han 5, 6, 7, where you start on 5 resources, use his leader side ability to go to 6, that lets you deploy him, and then you swing and go up to 7. There's a real threat of landing that DJ resource steal earlier than other decks would be able to do it.
And I don't think it's going to happen in this game in particular, although I think Philip may be considering it if he's resourced it.
Please don't nerf us. Says you see tech played on 3 resources and you play your 4-cost scanning officer and watch Han be angry. Yeah, for
Yes,
those who might
exactly.
not know, if you play a scanning officer, when your opponent has tech, any card in their row is a valid target. So
Okay,
that is a very disruptive play.
So Philip successfully ramping to 7 here.
Yep. But because he spent some of his resources earlier, he's not going to get like a huge play. Sometimes you see people going up to 7, not having spent any of the resources and doing something like Han Solo Reluctant Hero, U-Wing Reinforcement, the DJ from Smuggle that we were just discussing. But it looks like Philip doesn't even have anything to do with his remaining 4 resources. Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like they just drew up. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so I guess his only play for the turn was the Hotshot Deal 44 that allowed the Liberated Slaves to defeat his opponent's village protector, or that Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah, this happens sometimes where you're doing the Han stuff and you're playing stuff out, and then it doesn't quite go the way you want it. Like you don't top deck something into the resource row to smuggle it, or there's all kinds of really cool, like, deep combinations with Han and doing the resource row with smuggle with tech out, but tech isn't on the field right now. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, sometimes you don't get that high payoff.
And I
Ditches
am
qi'ra.
told here in chat, I believe Claire telling us that Philip is actually the Philip from the Maclunky gaming team.
Oh, sick.
So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he can pull off a win here for Team Maclunky. It looks like a Daring Raid being used to defeat the Liberated Slaves there. Daring Raid's a solid card. I think that card's underplayed.
Yeah, Daring Raid goes into about every red deck I play. Like, it's really good.
It is a strong card. And one of the things that I really like about Daring Raid is its versatility. It's one of very few effects in this game that can hit both units or bases. A lot of the direct damage effects in this game, unlike what you would see in some other games, are only for units and don't have the option of targeting the opponent's base. And Daring Raid's versatility makes it, in my opinion, a really strong card.
They're
Sweet
on
Cannoli in chat agreeing with me. Agreed. Daring Raid is so good. 2 damage is a nice chip damage. It's only 1 resource cost.
perilous position to kill L3.
Nice. I mean, not like the hypest play ever because you spent 3 to kill something that costs 2, but like he is, I think, trying to keep the board small and avoid getting.
There is
There is DJ.
Yeah. DJ to delay the Anakin flip. Love it. That's exactly what you want as
DJ
the Han
steals
player.
a resource, and unless Lightwrks can kill DJ right now, which he almost certainly can't, that stolen resource I think is going to end up getting discarded, and it's going to set Lightwrks a turn back. DJ works very well with Han Solo from set 1, regardless of whether you have that tech DJ combo. At least if you're playing double yellow, that is. And that is insult to injury. It looks like the card that Philip stole from Lightworks' resource row was actually Cassian Andor, which Lightworks was maybe hoping to be able to smuggle out later. So not only did Lightworks get deramped, he lost a valuable smuggle card for the future.
Wow. What a crushing combo.
Not what you want to see as the Anakin player here.
Poe making an appearance for Lightwrks.
In chat, we had someone suggesting that the perilous position should have been used to exhaust Han, which would then block Philip from discarding the resource there with DJ, or from making the temporary resource in the first place to play DJ. But you know, seeing how that turn went, I do think that might have been a better move than playing it to clear L3.
Yeah, I think you have to disrupt Han, whatever Han is trying to do to ramp. Surprise strike DJ into Poe for the kill. Very
Yep.
good for Philip.
And because that stolen resource has already been defeated, there is not going to be an opportunity for Lightwrks to get that resource back.
Yeah.
Now, Lightwrks is flipping up Anakin. Anakin is actually just a 4/7 here, not what you normally see from Anakin, because Philip has not yet done 5 damage to Lightworks' base. However, because Han is already wounded from fighting the village protectors earlier, Anakin will still be able to defeat Han in one combat here.
One of the problems that I found with Han Yellow is that the high-end payout, like Han Solo Reluctant Hero is a good payoff for the ramp.
Yeah.
But again, it tends to run out of gas pretty quickly against high health enemies. You have to select, for example, even against this Anakin run, I'd love to play Han Solo unit here if I could to ambush it. But unfortunately, you know, Anakin's a 7 health, so I don't get my first strike effect.
Right. You'd have to soften him up somehow with some other damage first.
Right. Now I could play Fennec Shand. That's a card that we don't see very often, but Fennec Shand can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Looks like
Okay,
Han is going to trade with Anakin using a surprise strike to get that extra damage through.
okay, that's quite good because Han is not as good of a leader on the ground as Anakin.
Yeah.
That was a very positive trade.
Oh,
Force
and
throw.
Lightworks throws out a forced throw. He is going to force a discard, but it's not going to have the opportunity to do some damage to a unit, which he would have had if Anakin hadn't been cleared out. Oh, man. And Philip discards a Cantina Bouncer. If Anakin had still been there and Han had still been there, that actually could have killed Han, but ends up being a lot less value. However, Philip hasn't done that much damage to his opponent's base, and I have to surmise here that Lightworks probably has the better late game. With a blue Anakin versus double yellow Han, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Right. So I think double yellow Han, like I was saying, the high end payoffs maybe not there as much as it is
Right.
for a blue deck. Because like you've got plenty of good stuff, right? But it's just in this situation, you know, you start to run out of gas.
Yeah, it's
Like
like you don't have the you don't have like the Crate Dragon, you don't have the Avenger, the Snoke, the other like high-end closer unit.
right, the Zillow Beast, which we
Yeah,
don't see
so
played very often. But
now,
you know, stuff like that. Home one if you were green, for
yeah.
example.
Whereas Lightworks probably, but hey, we see another DJ. DJ
Okay.
smuggled out again, going to steal a temporary or steal a resource. And if Lightworks doesn't clear DJ immediately, I think there's a good chance that is going to end up getting discarded. He brings out a what is that? Another village
Village
protectors, it
protectors.
looks like.
Yeah.
But here, okay, Mossbone says, I'm new to this tech DJ combo. Can anyone explain how it works? Yeah, I got you, man. Here's how it goes. If you smuggle out DJ, he steals a resource from your opponent. Now, normally he costs 7 resources to smuggle out and is double yellow. So, however, there is a way to use tech. Tech makes it so that everything in your resource zone can be smuggled out for 2 above its normal cost. So with tech, you can smuggle out DJ for 5 because his base cost is only 3, and you pay the +2 for the alternate cost with tech instead of the 7 that you would use for the normal high smuggle cost. So tech lets you bring out DJ to steal a resource faster, but the extra relevant part is that if your leader is this set 1 Han Solo, he has an ability that allows you to make a temporary resource and then you end up discarding a resource. What you do with DJ is you steal your opponent's resource, and then the resource that you choose to discard with Han is the one that you stole after the turn ends. And as a result of that, even if your opponent clears DJ, they aren't able to get their resource back like they normally would. So using tech allows you to bring out the resource steal from DJ faster, and using Han from Spark of Rebellion allows you to discard the stolen resource after you've stolen it by smuggling out DJ, which means your opponent doesn't get to recover from it as they would in another deck.
Okay, big Luke coming out and defeating DJ.
Right. So in this situation, Lightwrks spends 7 resources, brings out Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight, and that defeats DJ, but he doesn't get to take his resource back because it's already been discarded.
And once again, Luke with the 7 health body. Han Solo cannot one-shot him.
Wow, it's another DJ.
Wow.
He's hit all 3 DJs and he is just stealing resource after resource, but he is not able to use that thus far to actually get much of an advantage aside from the fact that he has way more resources than his opponent.
Yeah, this reminds me of a quote from a StarCraft stream, which is just, if your opponent's doing fancy stuff and you don't know what they're doing, just attack him. Just attack him.
Kill him, man.
Make him
I think I've
defend
seen,
himself.
who was it who was saying that? Was it Artosis who was saying that? I think
No,
I've seen that.
it was day 9.
Day 9.
Yeah, day 9 was the fan of that one.
If your opponent's doing something weird, if they're
Just
doing something tricky, just start hitting them.
Yeah, just attack him.
Whoa, okay, he
Waylay.
waylays Luke. That's okay. The problem with this is it means that Luke's going to get to use his when played ability again, but I guess it means that he can't just immediately attack and clear that DJ. So yeah, here's the thing about this game. Philip has hit 3 DJs and discarded the resource every time. That is so annoying for Lightwrks. Lightwrks, however, actually has more HP left than Philip's and has a better endgame than Philip. Lightwrks is probably winning this game, as annoying as it is to get hit with DJ over and over. Philip needs to find something to actually close, and I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's no fire spray. There's no. Your closers are generally like Han Solo, Reluctant Hero, or Fennec Shand with the big ambush.
Maybe he could. So maybe he has like Lando's Falcon and can smuggle that out and just have a powerful unit on the field that way.
Yeah, Lando Falcon is like the most equivalent. Like, he smuggles out a tech, okay, because he's got a lot of good stuff in his resource row.
Give him a bunch of options.
Yeah, so like my resource row is now my hand, effectively, for a bonus.
And he has a big resource row with all the resources he's been stealing.
Yeah. So what's he gonna do next here? We got another Kanan coming in.
Okay, so playing that Kanan now means that Lightwrks doesn't have the resources to play that Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight this turn. Please don't nerf us as just attack them. Then you run into You're My Only Hope, into a free invasion of whatever, into 3 Crate Dragons, 2 Redemptions, and an Obi or some Sentinel. You know?
That's true.
You're My Only Hope into Endless Legions is, I believe, what you're referring to, which is a theoretical ultimate endgame. It's been discussed for Yoda and so on. I don't know how practical it is, but it can be crazy.
It's pretty funny. Okay, here we go. Han Solo.
There's Han Solo, Reluctant Hero.
Yeah,
And Philip is prudently sending in Han after his opponent has already exhausted resources. That means he won't be able to play Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. I think Lightwrks would love to play Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight with the -6/-6 enabled to clear out Han, but it isn't clear that he's going to get a chance to do that.
Okay, so this looks good for Philip now that he's got Han in there. He was able to get the ambush off, kill off that Kanan. Han is now on the board relatively safely. He can't be removed easily.
Philip is building up that board that he needs to push damage, but Lightwrks is not out of it yet.
Yeah. I don't know if Lightwrks is running Fell in this deck. Like felling Han is the issue, is the key here. But
Lightwrks plays Luke and uses it to debuff Han here. So it isn't able to secure the kill because Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight has an interesting and kind of complicated ability. So Luke's ability here is it gives a penalty to your opponent's to an opposing unit's stats but it's a different value if you've lost a unit or if you haven't. So when played, give an enemy unit -3/-3 for this phase. If a friendly unit was defeated this phase, give that enemy unit -6/-6 for this phase instead. So because no unit was defeated on Lightworks' side first, he gives Han Reluctant Hero the debuff, but it's only -3/-3. However, the stat debuff still means that Han cannot cleanly kill Luke with only one of those other units hitting. But Luke then gets bounced by a Cantina Bouncer, and I think it's the
Yeah.
scoop from Lightworks.
Yeah, he just sees scoops because now Philip has this huge board. He's got all the tempo on his side. Luke wasn't able to do anything. Anakin didn't even flip.
Yeah, it was a funny situation. We were talking earlier about how Lightworks was in theory favored, and all that Philip was doing was disrupting him and not bringing stuff out. But, then Philip finally drew his Han Reluctant Hero or whatever it was, started getting some powerful units out, and kept up the disruption as well, bouncing that Luke multiple times, and Lightworks had
Right.
enough.
That Cantina Bouncer didn't even come out of his hand. It came out of the resource row from Tech.
Oh, yeah,
That was
interesting.
extra spicy.
Good old Tech. Tech is a very powerful card.
I love Tech, and it's just one of my favorite cards
Oh,
in
and there's
set 2.
actually there's a very apt point here in the comments. Sarnai Carp says, this is already almost 20 minutes in. I think they might feel that they need to really speed up. So yeah, I think this is actually a pretty prudent decision on Lightworks' part in terms of scooping for time. And this is a concept that I've discussed before, but sometimes in an event that has a clock, you're under time pressure. You don't necessarily know whether you're going to be able to complete the next round quickly. Sometimes if you're at a disadvantage, it can be worth it to just concede early and buy yourself extra time for those next games. Especially if you think the game is likely going to be like drawn out, but that you've probably lost. Maybe Lightworks had a chance to win that game, a small chance, but a chance. But he may have done the math in his head and thought, you know what? I would rather get myself more time for game 2 and 3 than get myself that, 10, 15% chance to win game 1 or whatever it is.
No, I'm completely in agreement with you on that point. He's time management very important in this sort of thing, and like people are saying in the chat, you have to steal 2, and like also folks are saying in the chat, Han Yellow is definitely a if you don't understand what I'm doing, you are going to get screwed. Like you are
Yeah,
just
so
going
so
to.
I personally think that when you're playing against Han Yellow, you should be aware of the Tech DJ combo and of the 7 resource DJ in general and try to have an answer. The best answer to that combo is to defeat or bounce or do something to get DJ off the field before the opponent gets the chance to discard your resource. If you can get DJ to leave play, you don't even actually have to kill him. If you can just get him to leave play, you will get your resource back, but you only have 1 round to do it before the opponent discards your resource. Most of the time. There are some special cases where like maybe you can block them from using Han's ability if he's deployed as a unit or whatever it is. But most of the time, you only have 1 round to get rid of DJ to get your resource back.
Regional governor named DJ. That's always
Yeah, dude, good old regional governor.
okay.
I
So Han
haven't seen
pumped
her in a
here.
while, but she is a relevant card.
Han pumps for a liberated slaves.
And yeah, Next Gen Gaming in the chat points out another relevant thing, which is the important thing is getting your leader out before the first DJ goes off if able. Yeah, if you're on a turn where your opponent could play DJ and it's the turn where you can deploy, you might want to deploy your leader pretty early in that turn, especially if you don't have a clean answer for DJ, because if you don't, you might get deramped out of being able to deploy on that turn, and that really hurts. Wait, Don't Kill Me has an interesting suggestion. Liberated slaves signifies Philip is on. Now there are 2 of them. What would the target be for the now there are 2 of them on liberated slaves? Liberated slaves has a huge pile of traits. I believe it is droid, Twi'lek, and Wookiee. But I'm not sure which of those you would be using for the I'm not sure which of those you would be using for the now there are 2 of them. Oh, it is also Fringe actually, and I
Yeah.
believe the Cantina Bouncer is Fringe, so it would enable now there are 2 of them into the Cantina Bouncer.
Yeah, Cantina Bouncer is fringe, yeah. I
And
think,
yeah,
not
Oasis
Underworld.
Games pointed that out in the chat as well.
So you got Bodhied there. Doesn't look like he hit anything. Ozatuk into the red 3.
Bodhi Rook gets to look at your opponent's hand and discard a card, but only a non-unit card. And it looks like Philip played Bodhi only to see a handful of units from Lightwrks. This is also a nice counterplay thing that you can do. When I find myself playing against these double yellow builds, not just Han, but some of the old double yellow Bobas as well, I might change my resourcing tactics to intentionally resource non-units in order to hope that Bodhi is going to whiff. And that's an example of knowing your opponent's deck and doing some proactive counterplay to a play that you anticipate them potentially using.
Protectors coming out against the Ozatuk.
Yeah, the Auzatek Liberator gunship was able to clear Red 3. Lightwrks opted to go for the base instead of taking the trade there with his Green Squadron A-Wing, and then brought out a Conquered Dawn Interceptors to be a Space Sentinel and hold off that Auzatek Liberator. Both bases now having taken 6 damage. Random Number Gaming says Auzatuk is MVP side. I think Philip's actually main decking Auzatuk. I believe I saw him discard it from the resource zone in the first game, and I think it's actually a pretty strong card in the current environment. It's a great answer to Lurking TIE Phantom, and with all the space decks people are playing, I think having a space ambusher like that can be pretty nice.
Right, it's also good into Django as well because you get to attack before they ping you down.
Spags has gifted a tier 1 sub to Bad at Swoo. Spags, thank you for your support. I really like seeing people supporting Maclunky Gaming here in the with the subscriptions, also just with the chat. And we are now up to 343 viewers, which I think is the most we've ever had on one of these Maclunky Gaming streams. So thank you to the viewers for tuning in to check out these rounds from SCG Con Columbus's Premier 2K.
Thanks everybody so much for viewing, and of course, if you are able to join Maclunky Gaming as a subscriber, that would be a massive help. If you want to see more commentary and more streams like this, they can use all the support that you have to give. So please do if you are able and willing.
Dr. Peehin, sorry if I mispronounced this, has subscribed as well. Thank you for the subscription, Doc. And looks like we are now seeing Han Solo on the field. Lightwrks has expanded his Space Force here with a Green Squadron A-Wing. So he now has 2 A-Wings plus that Conquered Dawn Interceptors. But Philip is in control of the ground arena, swinging in with Liberated Slaves and Bodhi Rook, as well as the Han that he deployed. It looks to me like we're going to see Anakin with some pretty high stats once he deploys. What do you think, Endless?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case, but he's going to have
Deploy
to
is going to
fight
be
through this
delayed
big
because
ground
here comes
arena.
another DJ.
DJ again,
Does
delaying the 6
Lightwrks
tough.
have an answer to get this DJ off the field before he loses his resource?
I don't. I mean, he
And
needs
in chat, some
takedown.
people are correcting me and saying if he deploys, because no, I mean it is a highly valid point. With this DJ to set that deploy back, Lightwrks is in some trouble here. He only has 12 HP, which means Philip now has lethal on board against Lightwrks and will maybe be able to close the game before Anakin deploys at all.
Wow, that is incredible. Love to see that from Philip. Really frustrating to play against, of course, if you're trying to flip your leader and you just can't do it.
DJ is hitting Lightwrks hard in this match. It was Philip landed all 3 DJs in game 1, I believe, and now he's hit another DJ in game 2, which is a big setback for Lightwrks in what is turning into a race here.
Village Protector is going to help maybe stem the tide a little bit.
Yeah, Village Protectors, okay. So that's gonna he throws out a Sentinel here that's gonna allow him to hopefully hold back some of these attacks. But if Philip has a bounce effect, Lightwrks only being on 5 resources thanks to losing 1 to DJ means he wouldn't be able to replay the Village Protectors.
Now looking for Smuggles here, trying to see if he can bounce those Village Protectors. To go tech into Waylay, I believe you need 8 resources.
He could have the 3 for tech from hand, 5 for waylay from resources. Oh, it is Lando's Falcon, I believe.
Nice.
Looks like
Is
it is
that
a
from
promo.
Yeah,
I
promo
think
Lando
that's
Falcon?
I think that is a organized play promo from set 2, if I recall correctly. And also the card is not actually called Lando's Falcon. It's just like we call it that because that's what it is.
Yeah, it's
It
Millennium
is
Falcon Lando's Pride, I think.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon Lando's Pride is the official name of that card. Thank you, Endless.
Yeah. Another restored arc, but how are you going to stop this ground arena? DJ
I don't
killing
think
off
he is.
the.
I think he's not going to win this game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it
Philip
doesn't
is
look good.
looking strong in this position. He's going to do what? 7 more damage on the ground alone. So now
Yep.
Lightwrks is at 25, so he's dead to any of these units if there's a hotshot blaster. Like literally any of the 4 units on the board.
Yeah, and what's the likelihood there's a hot shot in the resource row? Very high.
I bet Philip is on 3 hotshots.
Yeah, probably.
And even if he doesn't have a hot shot, what if he has a surprise strike?
Yeah.
We know he's running surprise strike. We saw it in the previous game. There are a lot of cards that could allow Philip to close it in one action, and it looks like Lightwrks is maybe going to scoop.
Yeah, he's like, nope, I can't come back from this.
I guess he was thinking, oh, my only hope is to draw some big out. Didn't see it, and that's going to be a solid 2-0 win for Philip with his double yellow Han coming out on top against Lightwrks and a Vigilance Anakin build. DJ, I think, has got to be the MVP for that set. What do
Oh,
you think?
100%. Oh, he was looking for Obi-Wan. That's what he was looking for. Obi-Wan, he needed Obi-Wan to stop the ground arena, but he didn't find it.
Thanks for watching and supporting Maclunky Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.